Hi guys, it's Bill. Just thought I'd give you a progress report on how I'm doing with this Tormach and getting it ready to go. So far, the progress has been a lot slower than I hoped, but that was because I had a couple of things that I had to wait on. Um, One of the things that I was waiting on was a coolant hose. You can't really see it because it's behind the spindle, but it was a metal coolant hose that adapter that needed the threading redone on it, and so they sent me another one. That arrived on Saturday. I put that in today and got the hose hooked up, as you can see. Little valve and everything. The coolant hose comes down from a spot underneath the base, and that's how you get the coolant to your part so that you can mill your aluminum and get the chips out. So things were going pretty good with that. I had an issue with the monitor that they took care of. I'm very happy with the solution that they came up with on the monitor, and I'm actually looking forward to getting a different one in the future. But this, for now, the solution we worked out works great for me, so it works great for them too. So very happy with that. The other thing we were waiting on was some help to get the full enclosure up. It's really a two-person job, and nobody's been available to help me, but my son's got the next couple of days off, so we're going to try and take that on next. I've done a few things to speed that progress along. I was able to place a couple of the panels on the tray where they're going to be, and put the spot holes in there and drill and tap, so that when I get to that point in the assembly, it should be just put the caulk down, put the panel on, bolt them in place. There's a few screw holes that I had to change just because they made access to them was nearly impossible in the stock configuration. When you're trying to make 1 mil that has 30 or 40 different configurations, it's really hard to get one solution that meets everybody's needs. And the enclosure is probably not something a lot of people put on these machines, because frankly, if shower curtain's probably good enough for most folks around the edge of the machine. So some of the holes that are here are for the backsplash or other parts that come with the machine. So you can't really expect everything to be perfect. So I'm still very happy with the choice of this machine, and I can't wait to start making chips, and I know you can't wait for me to start making them. So I appreciate you guys hanging in with me and watching this, and those of you who are waiting on triple edge finders, I really appreciate your patience, because I know this has taken longer than I thought. We're about 4 days past when I thought we would have them already, and it's looking like at least another 5 or 6 days before I can realistically expect to be making them. The first batch I'm going to make with the old fixturing and tooling that I had, just to catch up on orders for people. And meanwhile, I've already done the CAD work for the new fixtures, and I'll probably start them as soon as I get the first batch of parts out, so that I'll be able to make these the way that I envisioned it when I got started on this whole project. So thanks for your patience again, guys. That's it. I see there's about a few of you watching. I don't know if you've got any questions. If you have, go ahead and type them in, and I'll try and answer them. Oh, by the way, the T-shirts arrived today. The prizes that I was giving away to the 5 lucky winners from the 5K giveaway to celebrate reaching 5,000 members. Now, so I'll be getting those out probably tomorrow or the day after, as soon as I verify all of your shipping addresses. So if you won one of those T-shirts, check your email over the next day or so for a message from me confirming your shipping address, so I can get those out to you. The other thing is, I kind of like the look of the shirts. Tomorrow night when I do one of these, I'll show you one of the shirts because I got one for me. But they're pretty cool, and I really had fun doing the giveaway and watching some of the responses we had. So yeah, thanks for the thumbs up. I didn't catch who that was, but I really appreciate that. So at any rate, I hope you guys are not bored with all of this. These things take time, I guess, and I'm just anxious to cut some metal. So hopefully we'll get that happening in the next day or so. So thank you for your time. Have a great night, and everybody, go out and make something. All right. I'm Bill Griggs. Have a great day. Hey folks, it's Bill again. Just giving you an update of the progress that we've had with this Tormach milling machine. Had kind of the perfect storm happen. All my assistants, they're all sick. One hurt its foot, another is down with the flu, another's got a bad knee. That kind of sucks when we're old, but so it happens. So I'm doing this by myself, trying to put up this enclosure onto the machine. And so far, you can see I've got 2 sides temporarily up. I'm starting to show the Tormach colors coming out. Let's try that for a second. How does that work? Okay, this whole thing is sheet metal. And, comes pre-drilled. Got a few issues with some stuff lining up down towards the bottom of this. You can see we're off a bit, so I'm going to have to make some modifications, I think, inside the case. The sheet metal parts come in a pallet, and they're actually in reverse order the way that they're stacked up. So you got to get them out of the box and get them to where they're going to be assembled. You put up the 2 sides first, and then the back panels join it all together. It's really not that difficult. It just requires you to line things up. I use some string to hold the 2 sides together while I was putting the screws in place. And there was some wiring that I had to do, changing a few connections to allow the e-stop to be outside the machine. And I also put in lights on the top, and the 2 bars across the front are what holds the doors in place. There are a few spots where you need to fill it with sealant so that it doesn't leak. Here's another view of the bars for the door. I got the first set of doors in, and then I installed the inner doors. It wasn't very bad, and I ran some air lines on the outside of the enclosure. It's the first time working with airlines for me, and I mounted the regulator and filter in place on the back column because I have access to it. The temptation was just too great for me, and so I decided to cut my first piece, and like an idiot, I forgot to record it until after it was over. PCNC router tips. I installed a wireless on-off switch so I can turn the lights off and on.